The Iranian people's valiant and sacrificial cry for freedom has, so far, been met with silence from the West. Juliana Taimoorazy, you were born and raised in Iran. How are you processing what is happening right now?
We are extremely saddened with the massacre of the Iranians on the streets. We mourn along with the Persian people, with the Iranians. The Assyrian hearts are united with them. And we are cautiously optimistic. I am cautiously optimistic. And that's a lot for me, who's a pessimist, that there will be an action taken by President Trump. President Trump is a man of peace. He understands the danger that Iran has, the grip that Iran has over the entire world, really. And I think that strategically, he knows the importance of toppling this regime. And I really, in my heart of hearts, believe that he will take action. When, I'm not sure. But you're absolutely right that the Iranian people that have taken to the streets, the young, the old, the ones that are disabled, the ones that are the artists, the singers, everybody's on the streets now chanting the name of His Royal Highness Crown Prince Reza Shah, and they're wanting to be free. A lot of people think this is an economic issue. This was an economic issue. 47 years, almost half a century, Raj, of absolute oppression and tyranny must come to an end. So we're cautiously optimistic.
Well, Juliana, you sent me a couple videos of people courageously filming from their cell phones. Maybe walk us through what we're seeing right now.
Well, one of the videos I sent you it's very important for your audience and listeners to know that there have been dozens and hundreds and thousands of fighters, Arab fighters, Afghan fighters that have been brought in from abroad into Iran to shoot and kill the innocent Persian people, the innocent Iranian people. So what you're showing right now is how the streets are being patrolled by IRGC, even clothed, civilian clothed men who have taken machine guns, military grade rifles to murder the freedom fighters, the people that were initially protesting peacefully. Look, the protesters are empty-handed, and they have been faced with being shot in the face, shot in the chest. And so that's what you're seeing, that the streets are being roamed by these people. The other video that I have forwarded to you is of another town. One is in Mashhad and the other is another city that you see at night. At every corner, at every street corner, there are these IRGC members or these foreign nationals that have come in to help the regime topple or stop this protest. A lot of people don't know that these are foreign fighters that have come in to aid the Iranians, the IRGC.
Okay, I'm going to process this with you in real time. As someone in the media, I'm getting questions from friends and family, and I don't know what to tell them. You know, you see someone like Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela being ousted for more or less drug charges, and here you have the Persian people sacrificially giving their blood, screaming at the top of their lungs from every corner of the country, help us win our freedom. And it's no secret. I mean, Iran is the chief state sponsor of terrorism in the world. You know, one of the reasons that I heard famously, oh, we got to get rid of Maduro, he harbors Hezbollah. I'm like, okay, well, who made Hezbollah? You know, where is this all coming from? Hamas, the Houthis. It's like people call it the head of the snake. It's so clear that this evil, demonic regime in Tehran is just brutalizing, you know, large parts of this world. I mean, their apocalyptic view of Islam is creating chaos and havoc around the world. It's like, okay, so why are we taking out Maduro and leaving these people? And the thing is it's not like Iraq or other places, and I don't mean this begrudgingly, where it's like this like oil trumped up WMD thing that has a lot of controversy surrounding it. These are millions of Persian people pouring into the streets at the risk of their lives, saying we want freedom. And at this pivotal moment, again, so far, a large, and who knows what's going to happen next, the West has kind of just closed their eyes and turned away. Help me understand how this is happening.
That is quite puzzling to me and to countless others who have fled Iran. I'm not a politician. I'm not a military person. I'm just a human rights advocate. But you're absolutely right. We are absolutely puzzled how the snake's head is not being cut off. The What we're thinking, what we're hearing, what we're reading is that Oman, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia have been playing a very important role in dissuading America from taking action against Iran. Is that true or not? We're not sure. The other major players here are Russia and China. Are we afraid? I don't think President Trump is afraid of anyone. So we know under Obama, we know under Biden, Iran was even more emboldened. It was aided, it was helped. But President Trump, I think we're hoping cautiously that he is playing this very important chess game. And in my humble opinion, the first phase of toppling this regime was the protesters on the streets. And what that showed the world was the tyrannical actions taken upon the Persian Iranian peoples for the last half a century. The whole world saw it. And I remember when under the banner of my organization, Iraqi Christian Relief Council, I would go to churches, I would go to different places in the US in 2009, 2010, and would beg people to listen to the story of the Assyrians that were being slaughtered in Iraq. No one would listen. But ISIS shifted things, and everybody began, being alerted as to the crimes of ISIS because it was put on display. And now, with the social media, the world saw what Iranians have been chanting for 47 years, that they are being brutalized. So I think now that the world is witnessing this, the momentum has shifted. I think President Trump also understands the strategic importance of this regime being eliminated. After all, they tried to assassinate him twice.
Well, let me ask you this, my friend. What do you say to the I don't know what you call them, the keyboard warriors that were livid about a bunch of other things, namely what's happening in Gaza, and had just been completely silent. In fact, almost sarcastic when it comes to the plight of the Iranian people. It seems like if there was anyone who was crying out for the freedom of religious minorities, of women, of taking people under the yoke of a fundamentalist Islamic subjugation, it would be this moment. And yet a lot of people, you're a human rights activist that would call themselves also human rights activists, have been belittling this, saying the numbers are exaggerating, saying calm down, who cares, saying, well, look at Gaza, don't look at this. It's like this, whoa. What is going on? Like, it seems like there is a large swath of the caring people in this world who suddenly just don't care at all about your people.
Absolutely. There's going to be a long answer. This is such a great question, and there's so many layers to this. First of all, there's a very serious red-green alliance here between the communists, between the far left, with the Islamists, with Muslim Brotherhood. Iran, the current regime in Iran is steeped into Muslim Brotherhood. Khomeini was trained by Muslim Brotherhood, was inspired by them. So, and the protests that we witnessed, that we saw over the last 3 years since October 7th, it was organized and it was paid for. Not all of them, but many of them. That's one aspect, the Red-Green Alliance, which is extremely serious, and the world needs to wake up to it. It's taken a hold across the world. That's one. Two, Iran has always been a friend of Israel. Iran, we must remember King Cyrus the Great freed the Jews. So during the October 7th, Iranians chanted the names of those who were murdered by Hamas, those Jews that were murdered by Hamas. They've raised the Israeli flag next to the Persian flag. So the so-called human rights activists that speak up for the Palestinians in Gaza and in Judea, Samaria, they're not friends. They're not friendly to the Persian cause because of just that. And another aspect I think that we need to really wake up to is I think that some of these protests were not really pro human rights of the Palestinians. It was an attack against capitalism, the way of life in the West, against imperialism. So this is going back to the Red Green Alliance. So it is really multi-layered. Where we used to chant you too or me too unless you're a Jew. All the women that were raped and murdered so savagely, women's rights organizations were silent. And now here, women rights organizations are silent. Raj, do you know how many children have been shot in the face by this regime now, just in the last 48 hours or the last week? This protest has been ongoing for about 3 weeks, and so many children have been murdered. So I think that we shouldn't hold our breath that these supporters of Gaza would ever come and help and stand side by side by the Iranians. And I don't think we need them. I think the world saw with its own eyes and with our own ears. We saw and we heard what they did to the people on the streets. So I think the momentum has shifted. I think something's going to change. You know, the Holocaust survivor Cynthia Ojek said, amidst despair, there lies sanity of hope. We are in despair for so many young people that were murdered, so many young women, elderly children. We will mourn their death, but now it's time to continue. And there are protests that are organized tomorrow in Israel. There was one, I think, yesterday. There are protests that will continue here in the United States, throughout Europe. Persians will not be silenced, and this will continue until the regime is no longer.
Wow. Well, Juliana, thank you again for your insight and your wisdom. We're going to obviously have to have you back on as this story continues to develop, but we will be praying for you and your people. But for now, my friend, God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you.